The Match Ball.
Hello there. Welcome to the show. We're streaming live on YouTube for our TSB Plus members who get early access to the Match Ball. You can also watch the show later on in the free feed and listen in your podcast app as well. Match Ball is brought to you by Levi Solicitors. In the absence of Norman, does anybody want to step up to the plate here?
Will's probate lasting powers of attorney.
Yep. Well done.
Thank God you could do that because my brain is fried, quite frankly.
Yes. 10% discount on your legal fees on Levi Solicitors' full range of services. levisolicitors.co.uk/ the square ball. Yeah, Dan, Chris, and Rob here for the 2-2 against Chelsea. I think we all feel slightly distracted because our brave United boys are still trying to claw it back at the big shopping centre there in London. Still 1-0 as far as we are aware, but we're sort of generally filtering the mental abuse that was that 2-2 draw, along with waiting for the outcome of this game, see where it leaves us. But it feels like there's probably slightly less on this Man United game than the West Ham Man United game than there was with a very unexpected 2-2 draw, given what the first half was like, which was just a non-entity as far as a non-event. Sorry, as far as Leeds were concerned.
I think everybody gave up around the moment Jakob went mad.
I felt the most comfortable I'd felt all night when I'd completely checked out at 2-0 down. I thought, it's fine. In my post-Forest match report, I was saying, at the end of that, I was like, 3 tough games coming up. It's fine. Don't panic. It's all good. There's no doubt still some madness to come even after that. I was suggesting the Sunderland game. I didn't think it would be tonight. And, in that Forest match part, I was like, I'm going to be cool about it anyway. I'm going to enjoy that madness. And then as soon as it got to 2-2, I felt absolutely sick and didn't know what to do with myself.
I think I was given off that they'd given me hope. I was like, what have you done that for?
Well, at 2-1, I just felt more angry at Beale for giving away that penalty. I was like, you've ruined it, haven't you? Could have been 1-1. It'd have been great, that. And then we just went and scored again, and it was brilliant.
I still think that if it's at 1-0, maybe they don't do something stupid, give that penalty away. Who knows?
I mean,
stepping on a bug in prehistoric times.
Our 2 goals were just absolute madness, weren't they? The second one is just utterly hilarious.
Yeah, it was that push that Beale did. I'm still trying to come to terms with that and what he's done.
It's fine now. I mean, you were saying, Chris, when after he'd given away that penalty, you sort of banged heads with João Pedro a bit later on, didn't you? And you suggested, he's had his reset now. I think that did actually happen because he was great after that.
He's just back to default.
What do you want to say about the first half?
Rubbish.
Awful, wasn't it? However it was that we set up, just did not at all work.
I don't really know what they were trying to do because they set up, well, they played a lot of defenders, but then just gave Man United, they're on the background here, gave Chelsea loads of space to work into.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of players on the pitch, I think, that didn't look like they knew what they were meant to be doing either. I mean, Bogle is like one of the attackers, is one of the maybe number 10s, but when he's getting the ball in the middle of the field, it's not really what you associate him with. And then Bornau, Jesus Christ, I don't think he looks like he'd ever played football before. So yeah, it was all very, very strange. You kept having centre-halves stepping out to go follow Cole Palmer, which just seemed to leave a load of space behind him. And yeah, it felt like we were trying to be almost total football, players just playing wherever they wanted to be, and it was far too free-form, I think.
Yeah.
We were going to spend 40 million on Jørgen Strand Larsen, but it turns out that Jayden Bogle is now our best centre-forward in the absence of Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yes. That was strange, wasn't it? Yeah. He was very high up the pitch. He was almost playing as a right-hand-sided attacker for a good portion of that game. I'm still trying to just work it all out because it's not something we've necessarily seen before, is it, that formation? Or was it Bogle who was just pushed higher up than Justin, and did maybe that switch on the right-hand side there just upset the balance a little bit? Like you said, Bornau looked rusty, quite a bit off the pace, I think.
I think it was changing 2 of the 3 centre-halves. Like, we knew Strauch wasn't fit, so you expected Beale to come back in, but then I think we all probably thought Justin would remain as one of those centre-halves, and instead he put Bornau in there as well, and it felt like just too much disruption, really, especially when they seemed to be doing the thing of one of them would follow Cole Palmer around the pitch, and you ended up with, at one point, Jakob was pressing the goalkeeper at the other end of the field, and it's like, I don't think we necessarily need to be doing this. Like, I know we are, the 3-5-2 or whatever you want to call it, since we've changed that, has been a bit more flexible, but that felt like we are giving away our sturdiness here for no apparent reason.
Yeah, it didn't really seem to make much sense. It wasn't quite square pegs round holes, but it did feel like bringing in Bornau and then putting Joe Rodon on the left, then having Beal come back from injury and play with a guy on the right that he's not used to playing with. It was all just too much, and the simple thing to do would have just been direct swap Beal for strike, especially since like James Justin's basically like a Swiss Army knife. You just throw him in wherever and he'll do whatever you need him to.
Goodness me.
We're sort of focusing on the wrong bits out here, aren't we, I guess?
Yeah, but I think you've got to examine the first half in order to frame the second.
Well, I mean, the thing was, because by all accounts, Okafor was doing activation drills at half-time, whatever that means. So we all thought he was going to come on. The second half starts, he's still on the bench. After 5 minutes or whatever he is about to come on, we do make that change. You think, right, okay, let's see what difference this makes. And Beal gives away the penalty. And you think, well, we've just not even given ourselves a chance here. And then the game still does completely change anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Leeds United, isn't it? It's a head fuck completely.
Because, like, you look at the way Leeds went into halftime, and they did really well to get into halftime at 1-0 defensively because offered nothing really in attack, and actually getting to halftime only a goal down. And I know they gave away the penalty. It kind of gives you that much more hope. But yeah, I thought like with the right back was booked, the right sided centre back was booked, and Okafor's warming up, then surely you just throw him in right away. But here, it all worked in the end, so it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, people will say we got away with that, particularly with that miss late on, which was a hell of a miss. I mean, Christ alive.
What's the XG on that?
0.91.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I mean, James Justin, even as Palmer has missed it, has still got his head in his hands, like refusing to, just assuming the ball has gone into the net. That was hilarious.
So on the basis of that, we got away with it. But do you know what? We dug that out and showed resilience, and I think we can be really proud. And yeah, to go back to the point about the subs with Bornau goes off, Okafor comes on, that's 55, and it's 56 when Beal does the silly penalty thing. You think, oh, come on, Leeds. Don't be Leedsy.
Yeah.
And I thought we were going to be.
I went to the toilet at that point, and I was like, I just flick about my phone here for a few minutes. I feel like this is done, but just unbelievable to come back from there.
And you said at one point there in the second half, it's a long time since I've felt this way about Leeds, like a Leeds game. What was it you were feeling?
I didn't know whether I wanted to throw up or like just scream a lot, or I don't know. I was just fully just it in the best way possible. And the thing is, like, we were lucky, but you know, it's kind of like the reverse of the Newcastle game where I think we were pretty unlucky to lose that.
Yeah.
Same with Fulham, big freak goal in that game, and maybe Bournemouth as well.
Oh, when you said big freak, I thought you were talking about
Friday night.
Yeah, Friday nights. Michael's down there, by the way. Should we get his little voice report?
Hopefully he can make more sense of it than us.
Yeah, he was there in the away, and it sounded pretty good anyway. Here's what he had to say.
What a surprising pause. I thought pretty. All right, first 10 minutes, and then it just fucking fell apart. Really, and I didn't see any way back into that whatsoever. I don't really understand the starting lineup when you look a bit George Graham, when you got like three full-backs and the rest of them centre-backs on the pitch. You've got Bogle playing as a number 10, Ampadu pressing right as our highest player. It was all a bit mad. Bornau just running around like an idiot for most of it. But fuck it out. It's been a very pleasant day. Chelsea fans are absolutely quiet. A little bit of noise at 2 up, and then being able to sing 2-0, you fucked it up and all stuff at the end. Just absolutely delightful evening. Got really wet. I've got a banging headache. But who cares? A point is an absolute. I was taking a point to start for definite. 2-0 down. Jesus Christ! I thought we had no point. Absolutely no chance. I've been to see that chance there right at the end because it's at the far end for me, and I just absolutely was waiting for the net to bolt. But maybe someone's challenging a bit, but someone just leathered it over the bar for about a yard out. So that was good too. That was like their final little. Now you can all fuck off home bit for it. So yeah. Come on, United. Our brave boys. That's Man United, by the way, just so you know. Need them to do a job, really, don't we? But need to run our own race as well. And the point tonight is very good. So happy. Very happy indeed. Bye.
Yeah, sorry if there was a little bit of echo on that. It's hard to know exactly what's going on with YouTube tonight. It's been an absolute dickhead, but basically same feelings as us, I think.
Yeah, the Daily Email seems to have slightly fallen over as well. Whatever's going on there, so
everything's broken.
Yeah,
maybe it is one of those nights. What cycle of the moon are we in? Like, what's going on?
It's Man United's fault.
Strange occurrences. Reaching the late stages then at the Olympic Stadium, and it still appears to be 1-0.
That is for Nottingham Forest and Tottenham Hotspur to worry about, because we are now above Spurs.
Well, this is a good point. We were. Let's get back through the second half, because I need to sort of unpick my emotions through that sort of mid part of the half. I mean, the close of it was all pretty self-explanatory. Awful watching.
Horrendous.
And then, so from 56 minutes going 2-0 down, I've just written down brainless CUNT, which is a very strong word, I understand, about Beale, which was stupid, wasn't it? I mean, just stupid thing to do.
It was insanely blatant. We were saying maybe he was thinking that Pedro was sort of going to back into him. But the fact that Pedro was already the wrong side of him, it was like, well, no, he's going to run away from you. So just the distance between the two as he laid his hands on him.
I'd like to be in the video session when they're like, right, so we're just going to watch some clips from the game. Yaka, do you want to come up here and just, point some things in the screen and see what you're doing?
Talk us through this.
It's quite a simple, like, coaching instruction. Isn't it? Like, Yaka, just don't do that if you don't mind. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Silly boy. But then very quickly it turns around, and as soon as we get that one back, you get a foothold in it, and it was touched on by Mecha in the post-match comments, wasn't it? He was saying that they felt, because Chelsea, despite being very talented, have got a young side, so they're there to be got at potentially. And yes, so 65 minutes is our penalty. Happy to accept that.
That it was a penalty?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was a penalty.
Yeah.
I like it when they're given to us. It was a great penalty from Metra as well, didn't it?
Really well.
It's what you want him to do rather than try to be clever and place it in a corner, just fucking whack it down the middle.
But you could see Cole Palmer, who was standing behind him and had been booked for trying to delay the taking of it. He was pointing the keeper, wasn't he, to the keeper's left, and Metra just sent him the wrong way. So yeah, lovely stuff.
Is it possible that Cole Palmer's so stupid that he thought it was a penalty for him?
So from 65 and a great penalty by Mecha, as you say, 2-2 on 73. I haven't written any notes for it because it just defied explanation. It was just stupid and hilarious.
I don't think I had any faith that it was going to be given.
No. I had no faith he was going to score it, because we'd been so awful up to that point, and it just felt like everything was going wrong. The team selection, the tactics, the way the players were playing, like the set piece delivery was pretty awful. I was like, he's just going to blaze this over the bar or tamely roll it to the goalkeeper. So a pretty emphatic finish, which was great. And what we saw with both goals actually was Bogle, even though he had been playing as like that forward, that number 10, once he was almost withdrawn to the right wing back role, he just appeared more offensively. It was his marauding runs for both goals, wasn't it? Not that I understand the second one at all.
It's like someone playing FIFA and they just keep hitting the circle button whenever they get into the box, hoping that it goes into the net somehow.
It's just somebody kick it. So 2-2 at 73. That was a horrible last 20 minutes and the rest.
See, like because you've grown up watching Leeds and England, I think if you've grown up watching like Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, you might be used to just watching a team try and defend a lead or a draw for about 30 minutes at a time, because that's kind of just what it is.
Well, the stupid thing is, Chris, we set up all the team selection pointed towards us trying to do that, but defensively we were completely organised in a really shit way in the first half. So that added to my anxiety as well, having seen us supposedly be defensive in the first half, be a shambles in terms of defence. So it didn't necessarily fill me with bags of confidence late on. Although when they brought on what's his face,
Delap, I was just about to say this.
And I thought, well, because you saw the way that like Pedro kept just drifting in, like he'd stand offside and then just drift in behind our centre backs or go between like Bornau and the full back, and that was causing us loads of problems. Whereas actually, Delap is a more basic problem to solve, isn't it?
Yeah, and those defenders can just head them out all day.
Exactly. Like
he just missed the sitter.
Yeah,
I see. Brilliant.
Right.
But yeah, like João Pedro, I feel like his movement, as much as he seemed to be offside a lot, was like him running behind was causing Bornau and Beale lots of problems and Rodon. Whereas with Delapper, it's like we're just going to aim cross after cross. Jacobi, you don't have to worry about going to press the goalkeeper. You've just got to stand in your own penalty area and head the crosses.
Yeah.
That's what he's really good at. So it was perfect for us in that sense, really, as agonising as it was watching it.
Do you want the good news, though?
Go on.
Not related to Man United. We can now bring back the song Mind the Gap, Thomas Frank. After, 6 years? 5.5?
We brought back Sideshow Bobby's fucking shit tonight as well for Cucurella.
Yeah.
Who cried off at half-time because of it.
He's had enough. Yeah, Xerxes just missed an absolute sitter in that game.
I'm glad I missed that. Was it better or worse than Cole Palmer's miss?
Not as bad as that. That's one of the worst misses I've ever seen, I think, that.
It has to be up there.
Yeah.
Oh, 1-1.
Oh, have you given us a spoiler?
Yeah, it's 1-1.
This hasn't come through yet.
Is it really?
Yep.
I feel guilty.
Have you just got
It's
the
1-1.
notification?
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't.
It's
Well, why
1-1.
West? Why is Callum Wilson on the attack?
Callum Wilson appears to have just gone straight through. If this goes in now, everybody will know. It has, yeah. So people are. So you've got to right. So appreciate our stream is our stream is a couple of minutes behind. There's a slight delay on this broadcast as well. So when you get notification of this, it was the same time you all got it. But hang on a minute.
I feel really dirty watching.
So
this
what's that?
One in Man United.
Come on, our brave United boys! Come on, you Reds! Come on, you Reds!
Oh, show me some sad West Ham fans. Come on.
I'm slightly worried that if I celebrate too much, it could be clipped up to look like that guy, the ginger Man United fan.
Right.
He's always shouting at people.
There's no VAR, is there?
Let's just hang on a minute. I want to celebrate this. I want to embrace the dirtiness. Here we go. It's Sesko as well who scores.
Get it in the box.
He's useless as well.
Come on, United! Michael Carrick has turned this football club around.
Great, he's going to get the job, isn't he? Brilliant.
Come on.
Oh,
What
there we go.
Oh, hands on heads.
Show me some West Ham fans.
This is beautiful.
It's quite funny. Like
This is the first ever watch along we've done, you know.
Yeah, the promotion one.
the promotion one.
No, yeah.
Very different
Yeah.
vibe, this,
Yeah.
isn't it?
The last 2 games that they've dropped points in have been in incredibly demoralising ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are, looking sad.
Oh,
Leaving.
That is, 96th minute
Beautiful.
equaliser. That is glorious. Thank you, Chris, for telling us that news.
nice.
You maybe I doubted you for a second because I didn't have the notification myself, and FotMob's been a little bit.
What a shit way of experiencing football this is.
fucking
Getting
hell,
the heads up beforehand.
Well done, yay! I mean, we shouldn't underestimate how important that is. That's just taken 2 points off
I'm just going to look at the table now.
off West Ham's tally, and that leaves us still. We've come out of this game week 6 points ahead of them. Still, that is massive.
And we're above Tottenham. So we moved a place up the table. And we're still 6 clear. And we were fucking awful for most of the night.
Football's fucking great, isn't it? Sometimes 12 games to go.
What a ridiculous night.
What a club.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine being in that away end tonight?
Well, Normanson
That
was
was so
yeah.
good.
What I really enjoyed was whenever they were doing the little bit with, what do you call him? Mecha at the end. I've completely lost my head here. They're doing that.
I'm getting absolutely hammered in the comments for singing Man United songs.
What is going on?
Whenever Mecha,
Dan should be banned from the next podcast.
when Mecha did his little bit at the end, and he's going, "Oh, like the fans," and I've never seen anything like it. And it just cuts to the fans, and the exact words said are "shoot the Chelsea scum." At that moment, it's like these people aren't made for the Premier League, are they?
We are.
You've been asked, by the way, you drinking a Guinness there? Sarah's asking.
I am indeed.
Yeah, straight out of the can.
Yeah, I'm not fussy. It's fine. We are 6 points clear of the relegation zone. We are 2 points off 13th. That's a good
Europe?
position.
Europe?
We're still in the FA Cup as well. It'll be a hell of a season, isn't it?
Oh, dear me. I feel so filthy now having just celebrated that and sung that song. But do you know what? It's my enemy's enemy, isn't it? Got to do what you got to do.
Oh, look at Nuno there.
Full time 1-1 by the
Chewing a
way.
wasp.
Just got the notification through. Fantastic. That is just magic. I think I've enjoyed that every bit as much as I enjoyed us completely fluking a 2-2 today.
I think for our entertainment, we should still see that Man United fan shaved,
He's
eyebrows and all.
not allowed to cut his hair, is he? Because it's only 4 wins on the bounce. Oh, well done, you brave boys in red. So proud.
See Crescencio, some of them looking sad now. He's done his 4 goals in 4 weeks, hasn't he? Which is all he does in the Premier League.
Yeah, he'd probably trying to engineer a move here at full time.
Yeah, that's true.
Tapping up the opposition for a move. Little rat. Right, let me have a look at the table. Yeah, this match ball's great. It's chaos. It's all gone out.
Ridiculous.
It's all gone out the window, hasn't it? I'm enjoying it a great deal. Right, yeah. So actually, we're on 30 points. They're on 24. That is massive. That is massive, isn't it?
Just looking at the West Ham, the tweet, the 1-1 Man United equalise.
And who do they play next? I think they've got a pretty tough run of games after the end of the month, don't they?
So let's have a look. Fixtures. They have got Burton Albion in the Cup.
Tough.
Yep. But then they host Bournemouth, go to Liverpool, go to Fulham, and then host Man City before going to Villa. So yeah, it starts to get a little bit tougher from here. So again, it's just if we can stay out of that bottom three, send Spurs towards it because they've got a fucking really tough run coming up. Then
he's getting sacked after the Arsenal game, isn't he?
Yeah, if that goes bad, that's the catalyst for it, isn't it? But you were saying during the game, if you were going to replace your manager at this point, and there is a legitimate chance that Forest still could, Spurs probably will at this point. I don't think West Ham will now because they've shown enough in recent weeks that they'll probably stick rather than twist. But as you said, Chris, during that, who would you bring in?
I've just pulled up the available managers, and you've got Gareth Southgate,
right?
Which I could almost see it.
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso,
nah.
Enzo Maresca,
Joachim Low, very funny.
Ruben Amorim.
I mean, there's a couple of funny contenders in there. The Spurs fans were singing for Pochettino throughout the game, but he's the USA manager, isn't he?
How psychologically important do you think it is crossing the 30-point barrier there?
Doing it in the middle of February is pretty big.
Yeah.
How many points did we get when we got relegated?
35, was it?
So we're not far off, are we? How many games left?
12.
31.
Jesus.
We got 31.
We've got 31 points.
Yeah.
So we've nearly matched that with these 12 games left. Things are looking really good.
Yeah.
Which is really disconcerting.
Yeah, I keep looking at the fixtures left and trying to calculate in my head how many points I think we'll end up with. And I don't know why, but I keep getting to 50.
Emma's making a good point here in the comments on the stream.
Someone needs to.
Two games left in these tough, in inverted commas, run, and we can't be in the relegation zone after it.
Perfect.
Nice.
Because we've got that buffer. Exactly. I think psychologically that's so important. And then you've got the final run in there to attack all those home games. We might be all right. We might just be all right, you know.
Well, the thing is,
fingers crossed.
It feels like we'll get to at least 40 points. And if we get to 40 or 42 and we don't stay up, then
it's a freak season.
What can you do about that, really?
I mean, that's kind of how I felt in Farke's first season when we got 90 or whatever. And it's like,
right.
We had a pretty good year.
That's over.
Thank God for that.
Should we turn that off?
Yes, please.
Right. Let's turn that off. Okay. TV's gone off. We can now concentrate on what we're doing. Have you got anything to say about the ref, by the way? Hench ref, Rob Jones, who I think rightly booked a couple of their players early on.
And wrongly booked the Leeds
and then
players.
Incorrectly booked. But he booked ours, like the Goodmanson booking, for example, where he literally booked him for running in a football match. Like he just couldn't. He was running in a direction towards the ball, pulled up to try and stop, arrest his momentum, happened to catch the player in a contact spot. Player went down and he gets booked, but it's for totting up.
Yeah.
And it's the same for Bornau as well, for totting up.
But he also booked two Leeds players, was it? Justin and Longstaff, for not really making contact. Like, silly to put your foot in there in that position.
Because Longstaff
don't actually make contact.
Longstaff gave him a decision to make, but he didn't touch him, did he? The replays showed it.
No, they didn't, but you also probably shouldn't slide in there. But
I mean, we were all still trying to work out when Sean Longstaff had come on at that point. I mean, it was like, he just appeared. It was right after the Cole Palmer miss. I was like, why is Sean Longstaff on the pitch? We just put a 12th player on. What's going on? The Bornau one was a bit more difficult to complain about because he'd just given away a daft foul, hadn't he? And then he went and made one I think a few minutes later.
Yeah, the Bornau one was probably yellow, and then he lost. Did he lose João Pedro before that, and then again for the goal?
It might, I think it was sort of in between his fouls, and then he did it again for the goal. He was lucky not to get booked for booting Caldalo in the as João Pedro chips the ball over our goalkeeper, and then he just slid into him and properly booted him up in the air. At which point I thought he'd also crocked himself, which would have been very Bornau. This
is a good way to put it. Lowfields 1723 says, we didn't get value for money from our yellow cards tonight. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
They were all pretty soft.
Yeah, which didn't feel right. And because there was a bit of nastiness, especially in the first half. Like towards the end, especially when Estevao pushed Rodon into the Hordens, which I just think is it's a cheap move.
It's a coward's move, isn't it?
Ampadu was having words with Fernandez at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And obviously they'd had a bit of previous at the Ellen Road game when Ampadu was just laughing at him.
However, in the first half, there was a VAR check. Gabby's shorts were pulled in the area. If that had been in the middle of the pitch, let's say, and he was trying to get onto something, that would have probably been a foul and a yellow card.
Yeah, I also remember Antonio Rudiger getting a penalty there for Chelsea in the last minute for much less contact than that.
Yeah, I felt like Goodmanson needed to dive better in that because he did sort of throw himself to the floor. It reminded me a little bit of the penalty Brentford got against us earlier in the season, which was then overturned, which I think it was overturned for offside, but that was sort of a very soft shirt pull, and we were like, just fuck off, that's not a foul.
Yeah, I wonder if he'd been grabbed by the shirt. Would he be more likely to get it than the shorts? Getting grabbed by the shorts is kind of a bit of a weird one.
It's weird to get grabbed by the shorts and jump upwards, isn't it?
We need to have a quick mention, if we can, if only to tee us up for next week's. Oh, mind you, propaganda this week. I was going to say, because I'm all askew because we've got a midweek game. We haven't had propaganda this week yet, have we? Leicester 3-0 up and have lost 4-3.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could this be the one that finally prompts the authorities to take action?
I don't know if that live stream will stay on YouTube for very long.
We should get that up now. We should have a watch along to that.
Well, I mean, if we want to get cancelled, just have the audio on.
Yeah. How do you feel then after all that? Have you processed it yet?
I mean, I'd completely written this game off. Not in terms of we're definitely going to lose, but that if Leeds lose, it's fine. It's not worth getting annoyed about. And then it looked like we were going to make it really easy for them. But now we've come away with a point, and I hope Rory Jennings is very sad right now.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Juicy.
You just need to look at the final score and look at the league table and go, that is a very, very good night's work.
Well, it's progress, isn't it? That's
everything about it.
I know.
Utterly bewildered.
Everyone's terrified about the gap, but as you say, we're 2 points off mid-table. Everyone's terrified about the gap, but we've moved up the table.
Yeah.
And it's been the position in the table, sort of floating around 16th, 17th, that has been the source of the anxiety. But just put other teams beneath you. That works also.
It's also 6 points. Like, I know West Ham are picking up points, but it is 6 points at the bottom of the league. It's not 6 points at the top of the championship like last year when teams were winning every week. And there are teams in worse form than West Ham.
And it's the thing of, after we won on Friday night, rather than worry about West Ham and Burnley or whatever, I was just looking through basically other clubs' Twitter feeds and just laughing at the absolute meltdown of how people are miserable and panicking and shitting the bed and hate their managers. And I was thinking back to the Leeds game on Friday night, and I was like, I like all our players and I like our managers. So this is a much better position to be in, whereas everyone else is having an absolute meltdown. So lovely stuff.
Yeah, and like we might have set up quite badly tonight, but that is going to happen at times. Like we're a bottom end of the Premier League team, but like the resilience to come back from 2-0 down when you have basically no right to be coming back into that game and get a point out of it.
We're missing our top goal scorer, who's potentially in England contention now, and Pascal Struijk, who I know has his detractors, but he's been an absolute mainstay of the team for however long, and it did prompt a big reshuffle. And like you say, these players they have that belief or that resilience or just that sort of doggedness to just keep going and see what comes out the other end. And that fucking happened.
Yeah, we get through the rest of this midweek. Obviously, there's some games on Wednesday night, but then again, you get the little palate cleanser of the FA Cup, and I think like the FA Cup came around just at a nice time in January to allow everyone a little bit of rotation, just a little bit of mental space to get ready to come back at it again. I think it's probably the same here as well. But having 2 games in quick succession like this, then you have a little bit of it's a little bit more chill is the FA Cup, and then you can come back to the Premier League after that, perhaps just with a little bit more in the tank.
And you're probably looking at players who need some minutes getting 90 minutes at the weekend. Longstaff, Tanaka, the 2
Nonto, Dan James,
wingers,
there's loads, and they're all
Pirro.
We all think they're good players.
Play Pirro at centre back for a laugh. Why not?
maybe not Barnell. He had ice on his ankle, didn't he? So maybe he needs to sit that one out. Albeit, I think the rest of the defence would, especially after the last 20 minutes of that game, would like a break from being yelled at by Joe Rodon, because he was doing a lot of just shouting at people in a very encouraging way. But you must just think, fucking hell, Joe.
Joe Rodon did his little duck. I didn't like that. That made me nervous.
From that cross.
Yeah.
Oh, good God. What was he
Ducked under
thinking,
it
this
and then
silly boy?
Just stood there like, yeah, I meant that. It's fine. I knew what I was doing.
I think
it's all under control.
Thanks to Brian as well for just for bringing Farke's post-match comments to light here, saying we wanted to keep the game tight as long as possible, and then when Chelsea tired, bring the offensive players on the pitch. So you could see what the game plan was with the team in the first half. Didn't execute it that well, but then again, you're up against a very good team.
Yeah, like I don't think Farke's plan was give them loads of space in the position where Bornau was.
No. What else have we got then post-match? Paul's asking, has Archie got a relegation release clause? That was brought up in the studio, actually, when we were watching, wasn't it? When we saw that Spurs were behind or losing.
Has he got a loan clause? Let's get him on a 12-month loan next season.
Get him on loan for the next 3 years while they're in the Championship.
Save a bit of money on the transfer fee.
Good analysis from the Mad Aussie as well. This is another one of those games where if we'd lost, we'd have just shrugged our shoulders and got on with it. Tonight shows once again the determination of the team no matter what.
Absolutely.
And I was fully expecting once we got to 2-2 for it to be like the Man City game and concede a late, loser. So yeah, for them to show a bit more resilience as well and backbone, really impressive.
More Farke as well. It was a soft penalty, but perhaps it was a bit unnecessary. Pedro was about to exit our box. We were saying that, weren't we? He was heading away from goal, which made it doubly stupid. To accept the situation and to make sure we fight back was top. Yep.
Did you notice that the commentator called Cole Palmer Carl Palmer at one point?
That commentary team was painful, wasn't it? Steve McManaman was just begging him to shut up.
That was great at the start when Steve McManaman was talking about the comments that Farke was making about comparing Gruev to Hristo Stoichkov, and he's saying, I can't wait to watch him now. Going, have you not watched them before? You're getting paid to cover Leeds United. You might have watched the game at some point.
Cool Powers is saying the commentator did suggest that Rodon left it because the deflection could have caused chaos. It's a good point, actually, that. Maybe he's a football genius.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Well, he looked quite calm afterwards, and Joe Rodon never looks calm, so I think he knew he'd got away with it as well.
And here we go. Again, another tactical insight. Thanks again to Brian. Farke on Bogle. Thank God we saw today he could play on the right wing and he had to play in the pocket. We surprised Chelsea a little bit, but if we didn't concede such cheap goals, we may have seen more. Yeah.
I'm less convinced by that. I didn't think Bogle was great. I thought Bogle was much better when he was in his right wing back position. I think when he was getting the ball at number 10 in the centre of the pitch, it looked a bit weird. But I think I saw a tweet actually at halftime from someone saying they can't tell whether this system or this setup is all wrong or whether Bornau just losing his mind is sort of making it all wrong as well around him. So I don't know, maybe there was something in it.
There must be an element of Justin's ahead of him and going, what's this guy behind me doing? And then Bale's beside him going, I'm trying to do two jobs at once here because Bornau's just all over the place. But
and even moving a righty over to the left, in the back three, can cause confusion. Because if you're used to Joe Rodon being on that side of it, then he's on that side of you doing Joe Rodon things.
Yeah, and the passing angles, it is a thing now. It feels very modern football to talk about it, but having a left-sided centre-back, lots of teams like doing it for a specific reason.
Yeah. Well, it allows you to get the ball away first time, doesn't it, rather than think and check back.
Yeah, I just thought we would have put Justin on that side, but, it's over now.
All's well that ends well.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, goodness me. It is, I think it's one of the first times in a while that it's all felt like it was a bit too much. Since a couple of weeks ago, probably.
I don't know about too much. It was just so confusing. None of it made sense.
Were you like me a little bit? And I think you just touched on it, Chris. I almost came into it with no expectation. So I was fine with it. Even at 2-0 down, I was like, okay, I've made my peace with it.
Yeah.
I didn't really expect anything out of this. Then we got the goal back. Then we got 2-2. I was like, oh, God, it's introducing that jeopardy again. And it's the jeopardy that we want, because I didn't like having no jeopardy last season. But it still gets too much as you get closer and closer. But that's football, isn't it? Yeah.
That's what we enjoy football for, because it's just chaotic. It was like the Alamo at the end, and we're just hanging in there.
There was that spell, wasn't there, where it was just the ball was never out of play, but it was always on the edge of our box, and they must have put in 5 or 6 crosses on the bounce, and it was Leeds players just heading it away, and we had no out ball. There was no sort of chance to even get up the other end of the pitch. It was like, you're just going to have to dig in here for as long as this takes until the ball goes out of play. And they held on. Brilliant. Well, I don't know. I can't remember. My brain's fried. Maybe Pedro headed it over at some point, but, we got there in the end.
Yes, right. And an exhale. That's probably the most chaotic match ball I think we've done.
Sorry, everyone. That was ridiculous.
This is why we can't do watch-alongs. It's just too distracting. It's like trying to, nowadays, like Netflix, they make films because they know people are going to scroll on the phones during them. And that's what I felt like a little bit, like I had a distraction in the corner.
I'm just looking up when we play Sunderland. Are there any games on? No, because that's a 7:30 game. That's Wolves versus Liverpool. I don't think we'll be doing a watch along of Wolves v Liverpool. I think we'll be okay. It's 7.
Yeah. So yeah, a chance to regroup after that. And we'll wrap up the match ball there. Thank you, members, for joining us on the live stream. It appears there were some issues with getting comments through in the chat. I think that was it's a YouTube app thing rather than the web version. Seems to be working fine. So what we're saying is just blame them.
Yeah.
Yeah, blame them, not us. But thank you anyway for joining us. If you check out the end of the audio version now, we'll do a little bit of extra time for you. If you want to add the audio version to your podcast player, just a login at the TSB Plus bit of the website. Press that, and you'll see a button there to add it to your podcast player. Just manually add the feed, and it'll pop up all ad-free. If you want to become a member, head to thesquareball.net/plus. Still to come this week, the West Stand. We'll chat to a Leeds United guest to be confirmed at this stage. I have been texting people, awaiting some replies. Let's see who materialises. But we will have propaganda ahead of that. That's coming on Thursday, away from its normal slot on Wednesday, just to allow for this game and this show to come out on Wednesday. So it's Wednesday tomorrow, isn't it? And more football. Good God.
It'll all make sense eventually.
I still can't believe we got a point out of that.
No. Right, we'll catch up with you in a bit. See you soon.
The Match Ball.